Welcome to That Range Life, episode 39. 39 episodes of That Range Life. Chris, great to see you as always. I hope you're doing well. It looks like you got a tornado inbound there in downtown Chicago.
I'm a little orange tonight. It doesn't look as ominous in real life as it does on the camera, but I mean it's foggy. But yeah, we're not about to get any tornado sirens here.
I was
just regular sirens,
yeah,
like
just regular.
violence, rioting sirens.
I was in the Loop in my office building, 41 stories up, this past Friday, and I totally forgot. I'm like, oh, this is what the city looks like. This is what being this high up in the sky looks like. Not used to it, but I would say I felt for about the first 2 hours. I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice getting here, having my whole open office, and this is awesome. Then by like noon, I'm going, okay, I'm ready to not be here anymore. Let's just go back home. Let's go back to the basement. Right. Anyway, full show today. A lot of golf content for a show that's just sometimes about golf. But hey, before we get started, we're going to hit you with the usual. Do us a favor if you're watching this video. Subscribe to Chris's YouTube channel.
Somewhere down here. It's always different. Every time I point, it's the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's the way to make sure we're not going to point in the right direction. It's just point. It'll be wrong. But go to the page, the YouTube page, subscribe. Talking before this show, we got some killer content coming up.
We kind of do.
I mean, it depends. If you're a golf nerd that likes watching stupid golf shit on the internet, we got you covered.
I mean, those are our people.
Yeah,
that's how I spend the majority of my day.
Don't remind me. I am one. Like I don't even mean that offensively. Like I am one. I know my type.
You're a forum guy, and I'm a YouTube guy.
My YouTube lately, by the way, has been, I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but these like 13-minute historical military docs, and it'll be like, it'll be, but you know how it goes. It's like you click one video and then the algorithm just kills you with them.
I feel like the algorithm has been overcorrecting. As a matter of fact, similarly, I searched for one video around because I'm also a camera nerd, around a gimbal, like proper balancing a gimbal. And now my timeline's flooded with how to balance your gimbal.
Right, which you need after you watch it and figure out like once, twice, 3 times.
I got it.
You need 30 more videos about it.
I got it right.
Yeah, it's been. I would agree with that, but like we're talking like I saw one today that Germany's plan to take out Great Britain during World War II, and it didn't involve any violence, and it was basically like making their economy implode. It was, so I'm like,
interesting,
but like 13 minutes of that, it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm like, this isn't even my type of nerd content, and here I am. And then was I telling you this the other day? I searched once. I didn't even search once. I don't even know how it popped up, to be honest with you. But it was like a blue whale surfacing right next to a boat, like a full-size blue whale surfacing right next to a boat. I'm like, I hear that's a rare thing. I'll
watch that.
I'm interested. So I watch it, and it was awesome. It was fascinating.
Of course.
Now every video I get is some sort of whale breaching, whale eating dolphins, whale attacking kayak. Killer whales are back, and I saw this one came up and it was like killer whales. Like I don't know what the word is, but like in corner a pod of dolphins in some bay, and it's just a bloodbath. And but it's like, gosh, I don't need to click it, but I'm just so curious, and I regret it. And I don't even know. So I guess the next thing is like you have to come up with a super, because it's not like it cleans out. When you move on to the next subject, all of a sudden you get just that. So now I just have this like compilation. There's got to be a way. You'd think, especially with you being a YouTube guy, there's got to be a way you can go like just say reset, give me a new algorithm. But
yeah, I don't know if you can do that, but you can go like incognito.
I got to do something to get a new batch of subject matter.
Right.
Or I think of like you and I might exchange music. I'm like, oh, check out this show from band X in 2016. And
that
it's
happens
like
a lot. Yeah.
I get every AFI show from 2009 to 2000, not 2020, but like 2018 and a half that exists on the internet. I'm like, you're missing the point here.
Right.
Anyway, like Chris's YouTube or subscribe, like the video,
You
subscribe
can like
to
the
the
video
YouTube
too,
page.
sure. Yeah.
Do it. Hit the bell. We got content. I mean, we're not in a golf season, but we got some content coming. Which we'll talk about next week. All right. Sure. Let's cover what we're talking about on the show today. Gear talk. I'm going to talk some outerwear. We're not going to talk clubs. We're not going to talk bags. We're not going to talk. I don't think we're going to talk training aids. You're not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet.
We're not talking training aids. And
soon,
we're talking, not talking shoes. We're talking Sun Mountain outerwear. So stay tuned for gear talk. And I played to the point.
You played a lot of golf, man.
Shh, don't say that too loud. I probably more than I should have. I played a lot of golf this past week, and I think I know because we're recording the show a day late because you just got the shit kicked out of you.
Oh, for a good 2.5 hours
on the golf course yesterday. So we'll talk about that, and that's gonna take us right up to the end today.
All right, sounds good, man.
Hey, before we kick off. I told you we had to record the show at 9 because I had a haircut at 8:15. Actually, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this when we talk about Cog Hill. Sneak peek.
Oh, okay.
All right, Chris, let's do some gear talk. Chris, what if I told you that Sun Mountain, the sport, I think they call themselves Sun Mountain Sports, but Sun Mountain, known for some of the best golf bags in the game, in pretty good push carts. I've never used one, but by all accounts, pretty good push carts.
I've heard things, sure.
Made some fantastic outerwear for golf or off the course.
Okay. I'm listening.
Well, I had my first experience with Sun Mountain golf outerwear. Actually, to be fair, like I said, you don't just have to wear this off the course or on the course. I'll get it right. I promise. I'll get it right one of these times. So I can't remember exactly when, roughly August, September, Sun Mountain announced a new, like everyone who makes outerwear, they came out with a whole new line for the fall, winter, but they announced this new lineup called the Sun Mountain Colter outerwear.
Okay.
There's two styles. One, a hooded full zip jacket, and the other, a full zip vest. Which, if you recall, when I got this vest,
I
sent you an email. No, a text.
You did. It was a text.
I said, Chris, I don't mean this in a negative way. I genuinely don't know because I'm not a vest guy. What do you wear? A nice warm vest for? And I think, I conveyed the question more golf related. I kind of mean it in general. I get it like a suit vest or, something along those lines. But what do you wear a vest for?
I'm a big golf vest guy. I wouldn't say big. I have a golf vest and I do enjoy it. It's one of those things where Do you know what drives me? Do
you know what drives me nuts? When it's especially around here, right? Living in Chicago. See how I said it with the TCH? Chicago.
Right.
When you live around here and it's minus 23 outside and maybe you're at your local craft beer establishment and some schmuck comes walking in his fleece North Face vest or maybe even a down vest and a polo shirt.
Right. Right.
Or maybe they have a long sleeve button down shirt on, but you're I get it. It's it keeps my core warm, but this isn't this warm. You can't wear a vest and keep yourself warm in this weather. And then even in the fall, I'm if it's cool enough, I feel like I need to be fully covered. I need a jacket, not a vest. So I didn't get it. Okay.
All right. That's fair.
And you very politely and nicely explained it. Well, who am I kidding? No, you didn't. You did the usual. Oh, it's not something. It's someone else's thoughts and confusion. You're an idiot. That's the response I really got from you. But anyway,
that's not true. I explained in very polite and specific detail of when a human would wear a vest.
I guess the world will never know the truth.
You're like, thanks, Chris. You're the best.
What would I do without a pal like you to explain vest to me? Anyway, jacket and vest, and they have 4 different colors. We should be showing pictures around this point anyway. They sent me the jacket in like a navy blue and a gray sleeves and side seams, and then this one color, the color of the vest I got, is this like dark granite, I think they call it, in gray with an orange like inside lining. It is so sick.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, the hooded,
amazing.
It's very good, and the hooded jacket is really good in that color. Anyway,
yeah,
they look great. Now here's the thing about these things. You look at them and you go, okay, they have that like kind of like the hot look in golf outerwear the last few years, been like the quilted, puffy, insulated, look, but not too puffy, right? Kind of has that look, but it's not super quilted. It's just, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
But especially with these stretchy side panels or arms, if you have the full jacket, man, look at that wingspan. It's like Mike Jordan over here.
We can all do that when it's a wide angle lens.
Right.
All right.
They don't have to know I'm only 6 foot tall. Anyway, very lightweight. And you're like, no, this isn't going to, I mean, these are fine for that 55-degree Fahrenheit day, or 50. It'll keep you comfortable on a brisk autumn day.
Right.
They're very lightweight. And if you go out wearing it on a 55-degree, maybe even 60-degree autumn day, you'll be comfortable. But if it's a day like today where it's 35 degrees outside at night and you might be going to get a haircut, it keeps you warm in that too. Now, Chris, there's a reason for it. Okay. They used a new innovative insulation material called 37.5. 37.5 insulation. Yep.
Okay. Is that the temperature?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I try to do a little research on it, and this could be just, hey, someone needs to teach me how to use the website called google.com. But
it's tough. Google.com can be confusing.
Nowadays, all jokes aside, it sure can be. It's probably got the YouTube algorithm working for it. But anyway, it's this new insulation they're using that is, you hear this kind of stuff all the time, right? Where, it really manages your internal body heat, and it's cool when you need it to be, and it's warm when you need it to be, and it releases energy, et cetera, et cetera. Here's what I'll say about this. To that point, I said it's super comfortable in 55 degrees. I'm wearing it out. I wear it outside tonight in 39-degree weather. That was an accurate temperature, not 35 degrees. 39-degree weather. And I was still perfectly comfortable. I felt great. So this stuff does. It absorbs and releases the heat in your body as necessary. So if it's cold, it's going to hang on and retain that heat, and you stay nice and warm. If it's a little warmer, it's going to release that heat and keep you pretty cool and dry. And that's a big thing. A lot of these things will be like, fine, they'll release the heat, but you still can get a little bit of that like garbage bag effect.
Yeah.
Get a little damp inside, and maybe one of those. So far, every time I've used it, I've played in it a few times. I've used the jacket. I haven't gotten to the vest a ton. I've used the vest golfing once.
Okay.
But because vest, I'm going with, I struggle with the practicality and everyday use, but on the golf course, it makes a little more sense to me in terms of, the arm mobility and what have you. So
what size did you get that vest in?
Not your little baby 5'8" size. I think I already asked you anyway. No, I didn't, because I asked. No, I did ask. I know for a fact. I go, hey, what size do you wear? You can have the vest because I love you so much.
Yeah, because I would for sure wear that vest, 100%.
Well, maybe when you grow up and you get your grown-up body, I can hook you up. I love it. You're gonna like come calling me when you're like 65 and be like, hey, I've got a little bigger. You got that vest?
I hit my growth spurt.
Yeah, right.
I'm now a 5'10" male.
The vest, I keep looking over like I have them here, but they're hanging up in my closet, and
it's a good place for them.
Yeah, we actually keep your outerwear usually. Anyway, so far the temperature control is great, and like I said, you don't get that garbage bag effect. Definitely not the garbage effect. And stay dry, but as a result, you don't stink. Prevents odor, which is key. I don't know about you, but like my going back, some of like my favorite rain jackets or favorite just golf jackets over time just stinks just in there.
Huh.
Especially when you mix in like, you know, rain, snow, all the other moisture. And
the
it's
elements.
like no matter what you do, they just kind of, they don't last. Admittedly, it's only been about a month and a half where I've had this stuff holding up, doesn't stink. I hope it stays that way, but it's supposed to. That's this 37.5 insulation. And the bigger thing in that, to that point, it doesn't wash away. So think of like a lot of like treated, you know, like the copper treated clothes and all this stuff out there with different science in it. Well, over time you wash it and it's like, oh, the thread isn't as tight. The chemicals in it go away, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't wash away with this insulation. It's
That's
durable.
awesome.
I'll see. I'll tell you guys if you remind me in a year, we can check in and see if it's holding up for me, technologically speaking. Okay. And then, of course, golf wise, very easy to swing in these things. They don't fit like super slim and athletic like our boy J-Riv, but I would say it's on the conservative side of athletic. Like it's not like you're wearing a parachute getting away from your body.
Right.
But it's not sucking to you. And the swing, so it's easy, full range of motion. And the whole point of those stretchy side panels are so you can get that full twisting and arms moving range of motion.
Yeah.
All in all, I love them. Fantastic. Look great. As a result of how much I've enjoyed these, I have been intrigued by the rest of the 2021 Sun Mountain Outerwear collection. But that's an addiction I don't need, especially with not commuting every day. But it's great stuff.
Right.
If you only know them as the bag company, I implore you to go check out the Sun Mountain Colter jacket and vest. And you can, as always, read the review at driverangeheroes.com. Chris, that's Gear Talk.
Okay, William. Hey, you played a bunch of golf over the past few days.
I did indeed.
And I think you had some good experiences and some not so good experiences. So let's talk about it.
On and off the course. So yeah, Tuesday morning, I was my last day in Wisconsin. I think I said on last week's show that I was going to play Lake Arrowhead, the Lakes course, by Sand Valley. And I did.
Now, Arrowhead is like legit, like right next door, right? To Sand Valley?
It's if you're going up 13, you take a left into Lake Arrowhead complex.
Yeah.
And if you just go down to the next street and take a left.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's like, that's not true. It's like 4.
Whatever. If you miss one turn, you're going to hit the other golf course is what it amounts to.
In no time. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's the same glacial lake sand. Right. It's all there. By the way, this, now that I've played it, it's not on our notes here, but going off script. This, I kind of get the impression the place is like a Del Webb retirement community in Wisconsin. There's a lake there somewhere, which I didn't see. There are some fantastic houses in this place. And place is well put together, nice streets. It's not like some junk in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. Like it's nice.
So basically it's not like everything else you see on the way there.
Yeah. It's not like
you see some shanties on the way to Sand Valley / Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of like rich living in that area if you know where to find it. Yeah. But this wasn't like your typical like white townhome,
right? With
chairs riding upstairs.
Box cutter. Right.
Yeah, it was really nice. We saw a lot of super cool houses.
All right.
But the course itself is, along those lines, it's like take those sort of like generic, easy-ish. Like I said multiple times, there were some cool holes, but if they like just got a little more aggressive with the bulldozers and really move some land, like they could have had. I mean, I know it came before Sand Valley, but it would have been like Sand Valley Junior. It's all there to do it. It's super cool. But it was we had 8. I can't remember exactly what, but 8:30 round or something like that, and it was cool, windy. It rained when we started. Wasn't easy, but man, played some great golf. This is our last day there too. That's important for the end of the story.
Nice. Yeah.
Played some great golf. Really good golf. Pretty much. I mean, don't get me wrong, hit a few shots and all, but like Whole game was there, making putts, good short game, good bunker play, drivers there, fairway woods are there. I'm playing great golf. And I told my father-in-law, I'm like, man, I feel like I could go out right after this, even though I'm exhausted, and shave 5 strokes off immediately, just having seen it now and gotten used to the greens.
Sure. Yeah.
So
was it fescue? I'm just curious if it was the same kind of topography as Sand Valley and Mammoth. And
I would say it could. No, it's not.
Okay.
Could be. It's not. It's definitely like it doesn't have the budget and the pizzazz, right? But
sure.
It's a great build for what it was. And if you're at Sand Valley and you're like, I'm not going to play $250,
right?
Maximum rounds.
Right.
It's a great place to play. And they're like, I think I said last week, packed. I mean, just filled, right?
Yeah.
Plenty of golf being played there that day. Keynote. The night before, I fell asleep probably like midnight-ish and woke up at 2. And I said, I forgot when I sent you pictures of my new practice facility up there, the garage into the woods. I remembered I took 3 garbage bags that were in the way out of the garage and put them like around the side of it while I hit golf balls. Well, I woke up at 2 and remembered that. And I went, well, if I do that at home, my buddies, the raccoons, are going to come annihilate those. And I went, I don't really feel like waking up at 7 a.m. and dealing with that, or but worse yet, having like my in-laws be like, what happened here? I know I put these in the garage. So I'm like, it is what it is. Just leave it and go back to sleep. And I'm like, I can't fall asleep. So at like 2:15, 2:30 in the morning, I sneak out of the room with my cell phone, and I go out it's a walk out like downstairs to the lake, I sneak out the back and I creep up the side hill in the dark. And mind you, this is right after that video went viral of the cougar chasing the guy that we talked about. Right.
Right.
And they have all that shit up there. And I'm like, there's like food in there. And I don't know if there's bears up there, but there could be. I don't know, but at this point, I'm kind of delirious. It's 2:15, 2:30 in the morning, and I can't sleep because I'm worried about garbage outside. So I'm certain I'm getting attacked by something, and I can hear all the animals. I mean, it could be like a ground shrew, or it could be a full Kodiak grizzly bear that wandered off from Alaska. I don't know. So I walk up. And I'm like, I can't turn on my cell phone for a light because then someone might just see it at 2:30 in the morning and go, who's creeping around this house with a light on this time of day? See my garbage bags in there, fully intact. All right, great. So I open the garage door with the combination, put them back in there, then close it, having no idea what noise that's making in the top level of the
indoors.
house.
Right. Yeah.
And then I have my light on. I'm pointing it so like as down as I can. And creep back downstairs, back in that bottom door, and back into bed. Well, now I'm awake. Can't fall asleep. So I end up going to one of the other rooms, and I finally fell asleep at like 5:30. Had to wake up at 7. And I'm like, the whole time I'm like, if I don't fall asleep, what if I don't fall asleep? What am I gonna do? I can't handle it. Ultimately fell asleep, but so I was playing golf on 4 hours of sleep. That was at best, that was significantly interrupted. Well, after that round of golf, we kind of finished up our day there and took off for home around 4:00. And we're half an hour from home in our wonderful Toyota Sienna SE family van on I-90 heading east by Elgin when I'm in the middle lane and a car's driving like a SUV, and all of a sudden drives over something and shoots it up in the air, and it comes flying at my car. And I can't see anything at this point, and just hits us square. It's
insane, man.
This, and then all of a sudden my daughter starts telling me like, the car's on fire. And at this point I'm like, I can see, I haven't gone into one of the other lanes. I still have control. Like I can go straight. Yeah. There's steam and I can see liquid in the rear view mirror spraying up. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And now I see the orange in my side view mirror. I'm like, oh shit. Managed to get the car over to the shoulder of the road and my car is like just covered in shit. I don't think any of my tires are popped or anything, but I mean, it's like somebody just let every single fluid just drain out of the bottom of the car. And
unreal.
you can see I have something wedged underneath it. Long story short, we got a tow. So that happened at 7. We got a tow at like my mom and dad came out from our house, which is like a half-hour drive.
Yeah.
Got as much of our stuff in the car as they could, and my family. And the car got towed at roughly 8:45. Well, at that point, when the tow truck lifted up so we could take the shit that was wedged in the bottom of the car, it was like 2 heavy planks of wood with a big like metal, metal, I don't even know what they call it, but some piece of metal to hold them in place. And it was one of those, it was part of like take like a landscaping truck, like with a flatbed, and they make the wood
The
gate
fencing
walls.
Right.
It was a whole one of those. And it came up and like basically, broke like this and went under my car and jammed up. And my father-in-law was like, well, can you like get that out and like nurse it home? And I'm like, tell him there's no coolant, there's no oil, there's nothing left in this liquid wise. We're not driving it anywhere. So that was great. That was a fun welcome home.
That was after you were on a golf the same day?
Same day.
Oh
on my disrupted 4 hours of sleep. So that was awesome.
That's a long ass day. Wow.
Yeah. And then once I get the like notification they towed it to the body shop I told them to bring it to, I had to go over and get like the last bits of shit out of that car. What a nightmare. So then that was Tuesday. Thursday, I made I won't call it triumphant unless it's just for effect, but I made a return to Oak Park Country Club with a couple buddies.
Which was a disaster the last time you went.
Yep. It was a big, like, man, things got to change around here moment. Right. Now, I started off pretty good, actually. I think I went, I can't remember. I think I went par, or maybe I went bogey, par. Like things were looking good. And I'm keeping the ball and playing off the tee, hitting the 3. Next time I play, I'm going to hit a lot of 3 woods. Everything was good. And then on the 4th hole went okay. I mean, it's a great shot, parred it again. And then 5 is like the wheels fell off after a bad wedge shot.
Oh.
Like I hit an okay tee shot. It was into the wind, which by the way, the wind has been horrible all week.
Been real rough.
Horrible. So it's no different out here, but it was a great day. And I hit a tee shot that just got killed by the wind. So I hit 3 hybrid, which should usually be enough, especially with my, how I hit my 3 hybrid. Should have been fine, but I was like 35 yards shorter than normal. So I had to hit it again, and I'm just off the green, plenty of green to work with, and I just can't hit. I hit a terrible wedge shot because I had a horrible lie, and it wasn't unreasonable to be bad, but that was it. Click. I was done mentally. And so then I went on another, and basically the way my friend who's a member there assessed, he's like, you were much more in play this time than you were last time, but there was nowhere in between. I either played really great and had a good hole, or just a colossal meltdown.
Or it was a shit show, I can relate to that.
I
can relate to that.
Horrible. But man, I gotta tell you, that course, Oak Park Country Club, the more I play it, it's a fairly unassuming Donald Ross that's been touched up and modified a little over the years, but it is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then Saturday, I played, let me tell you the lead up to it. We already alluded as Cog Hill.
Saturday you played Cog Hill.
The previous
was it we'll get Cog Hill?
We'll get there. The previous Saturday, as I've mentioned on the show, Tommy O'Connell, young Thomas of Driving Range Heroes fame, is moving away to Arizona. So we want to get one last round in with him, John, and myself. Okay. And we're looking at places to play. I'm in Wisconsin, and texting with them. And, we're not like, Ravislow's an option, but it's like everything around here. There is nothing open anywhere, even a week in advance.
Nope.
I mean, Highlands of Elgin booked. Prairie Landing booked. Bowes Creek booked. Village Links booked. Ravislow, I think, had some. I'm just
yeah.
Everything was booked.
Yeah.
So We take a look at Cog Hill, Ravines, the number 2 course.
All right.
Booked. Neither of us.
Oh,
what?
sorry. Go ahead.
Neither.
I thought you were going to book Ravines. Sorry.
We thought we'd
Yeah.
like to, booked. Which there's a funny story about that, but I won't go into here. And then none of us want to play the junkie courses. They're like, nah, on this.
Right. Because I like Ravines. I've enjoyed Ravines. I've played it a couple times. I like it a lot. Yeah.
So we see, though, Dubs Dread, the big course that we've talked about many times on the show, has a 6:50 and a 10:50 a.m. As a father who works 5 days a week and a pretty intense tech job with 2 small children, I don't get away. You don't get to go play golf after, and rightfully so. I don't mean this, and
No, I get it. Right.
You don't get to play golf after 10 a.m. on a Saturday, nor should I. And I'm good with it. So
you got stuff to do at the homestead.
Well, and I when I say you don't get to, I don't mean like, oh darn it. I mean like it's just not how life works. And I don't want it to. We talked before the show. Hey, I got dance Saturday morning. You know what? One of my I picked my daughter up from dance 2 nights a week, and I mean it's like the 15 minutes, 20 minutes I have in the car with her where she'll actually be like, "Oh, I enjoy talking to you."
It's the best, man, for sure.
So I love dance pickup time, and I'd much rather do that than golf with any of you idiots.
100%.
Just saying. Unless she's mean to me, and then I'm like, you know what? So I say, well, there's a 6:50 and a 10:50 at Dubs. Like I know I can make that 6:50 happen. And John and Tommy, of course, were like, that's insane. I don't want to do that.
Right.
And I'm like, neither do I. So I say to my wife, I'm like, hey, I told you this coming weekend would be, Tommy's going away golf round, so I might have to make some exceptions. But I hope that's okay. My wife's like, yeah, it's fine. So we agree on the 10:50 round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The week passes. My wife starts inquiring around Thursday about like what kind of barbecuing are we doing this weekend? Are you going to be able to make XYZ, right? And I said, I can't on Thursday because I'm golfing for work. But Friday, I forgot, there's something Friday where that didn't work. And then I'm like, but I could do it Saturday. So I have time. She's like, I thought you were golfing today. I'm like, I am, but we're playing at 6:50 in the morning. She's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, this is great. As much, I'm like, yeah, I can't believe those guys agreed to do that.
Yeah.
So you can see where this is going. I show up to Cog Hill. I wake up at 5:30.
You went?
I show up to Cog Hill, record time. And I had to get and I had to get gas too. So like I just was getting there with like 2 minutes to spare. But I don't see Tommy's car and I don't see John's car. And given it's that early, it's an empty parking lot. Oh, and that place has 4 courses.
Right.
2 of them you park over here.
You got to go to the other side.
So it should be easy to find them. They're not there, and it's black, almost black still. So I text the guys at 6:50. I go, "Hey, where are you guys at? You here yet?"
This is incredible.
And John replies,
"This makes me so happy."
John, this isn't even the end of it. So John replies, "Are you at the golf course?" The tee time's at 10:50. And I'm like, oh my God, that's right. And then I go even worse after he booked the tee times. Now, to be fair, it was a week ago and I already made the mistake. So it wasn't like I was going back to check the referral email that he had sent to all of us with the tee time that I could have verified at any point this week.
Right.
Didn't do it.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, that's right. So it is what it is. I get back in the get back in the car and head home. I text my wife, who I know is not awake yet, or most likely not awake. It's possible. I said, hey, don't know what the plans are, but I'll be back in a little bit. I'll get donuts. I'm coming home. Might as well. I'll get everybody donuts. Some Halloween donuts from Dunkin' Donuts.
Absolutely. Did you get the ones with the little spider, like with the donut hole in the donut? Oh,
they weren't as good as the like appearance wise. They used to make those really tight really nice and neat. Not
Well,
as
Dunkin' Donuts moved to like this main manufacturing plant, and then you deliver the donuts instead of doing it in house, and it's never been the same.
you say that it has to be different ones because I noticed like the double chocolate's my favorite Dunkin' Donuts donut.
That's a good donut.
Different Dunkin' Donuts do it, and there's one of two ways. There's like the clearly like mass produced one, and then the one that seems like they used to do it in house. So I think they at least have a couple of facilities. Anyway, I digress. And you're right. So I bring the donuts home.
Coming to the show.
What's that?
I said donut draft coming to the show.
I'm in. We're gonna need content this off season.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So, by the way, also was unaware. I said, can you just give me a dozen assorted of the Halloween donuts? I didn't know that they put this donut on called, it's something like ghost pepper. And it's like, I think I didn't even eat it because after I found this out, but my son took it thinking it was like, kind of like, think of those like pink frosting with the little like cherry sprinkles, Pop-Tarts. Sure. It was like, It looked like that. Right. So he took one. He's like, I don't want my donut. It's spicy. And I'm like, you're being a 4-year-old. It's fine. Eat it. And so when my wife wakes up and comes out and he's still saying it, she tries it. She's like, oh my God, this is like super hot. These are like red hots on here. Up. Yeah. And then I saw on Facebook yesterday or today that Dunkin' Donuts came out with this like super hot donut. I'm like, oh God. And they gave us 2 of them. All right. So
anyways,
she's like, and I go, yeah, it was. And she's like, I was going to say, you told me it was 10:50 and like, I knew you weren't going to be around. I go, I don't know what to tell you. I'm an idiot. I know it. So I had to show her how. I'm like, listen, we can still barbecue. I'll finish it. I'm like, just, this is all you got to do to start the Traeger. I'll even set it up for you. Just go in, flip the switch, turn it to that. You're done.
Yeah.
So that was fine. Now, before we continue about this round, tonight as we're recording, this is 2 days later. I texted you and said, hey, I'm in the process, as I tell you, but I have an 8:15 haircut. Let's just meet up at 9. Okay, cool.
Right.
I go to where I get my haircut. And because of COVID, she's like, just text me and I'll let you in, whenever you go to get your haircut. So I text her and I made I'm like, hey, if you feel like cutting someone's hair by chance, I'm here. Thinking it's just a funny way of doing it. And she's like, what? And then I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, what's the date today? And I have to go look at the calendar because I've been certain it's the 20th all day. No, it's the 19th.
It's the 19th.
My haircut's on the 20th. And I got a reminder of it in my email. Like I knew it. At least this time I thought it was the 20th. I had the timing all right. I'm like, oh my God, it's the 19th. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I said to her, I was going to say, I was really impressed by the black curtains that are down because she's like storefront window. I'm like, the black curtains that were down really block out the light of your place. Well, yeah, because they were down, but the lights aren't on.
And the lights were off. Right.
So I did it twice. I did it twice in 3 days. Don't worry about me. I'm fine over here.
This is a high functioning adult in a high level position with children, ladies and gentlemen.
Except I had to make an argument. My wife keeps the children alive, and at work, my job is just to make sure other people, make me look good. It's fine. And not even look good. Make me look. All right. So anyway, this was the going away round. And as we've talked about before, Cog Hill Dubsdrider or Course 4 is a bear of a golf course. Yeah. It is hard. And I think back when we were better and Tommy and I'd be like, yeah, we're going to play from the tips just because. And it's like, it was still hard and beat us up, but it was functional. Like we would have just been murdered if we tried that this day.
Yeah. Well, you had some additional issues, so to speak, with the weather that day.
Well, and then you mix that in. So it was cold. It was cold. It was sunny for a little bit, but it was genuinely cold. But it was so windy on Saturday. And by telling you it was a 4-club wind is not an exaggeration.
No, not even a little bit. I mean, I would believe that 100%. Yeah.
Any hole into the wind, I was like, this is playing 2 strokes higher than par by a mile. Yeah. Now, my round was ultimately the same as Oak Park. I was either had very good or an absolute disaster. But then and true proof of like why I'm not meant to be a good competitive golfer. Just all the shit gets in my head. On the first tee, there's a foursome in front of us, and we're a foursome with another guy, a single got put with us. There's two older couples. When I say older, I don't mean like 80, but maybe late 50s into 60s.
Okay.
And let's just say, coming from me, no one's in great shape in the group. We watch the guys hit, just like duffs off the tee. And it's, I mean, it's like you can't stand without getting pushed wind at this point.
Yeah.
And then the two women hit, and I mean, 13 feet's not an exaggeration. Oh. Just horrible.
Yeah.
And John just goes, feels like they should have some sort of handicap or qualification system to be allowed to play this golf course, especially today. And the starter's like, don't worry, we're going to take care. We'll be on them today, whatever. Between the difficulty of the course and just them not being good, I'm like, here we go again. Cog Hill just killing it with their pace management and on-course administration, as always.
Yeah.
Round took us 5 hours at least. And I mean, the pace was just so bad. Now, here's the thing. They would catch up to the groups in front of them at times. It was like, it's one of those things where, well, we're not going anywhere, so neither of the groups behind us. It's like, no, that doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. You still need to let the groups play behind you.
Play the hole. Yeah.
Yeah. And just
as you would, right.
The pace just being awful. And there were oftentimes 2 holes in between them and the group in front of them. Then they might catch them. But I'm like, there's probably groups up there that don't belong or shouldn't be playing. And I'm all for, hey, anybody should be allowed to pay and play. But there's a certain sense of like, I know I can't play this course from the tips. So you know what I'm not going to do Saturday when it's busy in a 4-club win? I'm not going to play from the tips. And they made this like, oh, they're really going to be monitoring. I didn't see a marshal the whole time we're out there. The closest we got was the cart girl drove by twice. And then at the first par 3, this girl running like a Make-A-Wish charity thing drove up. That's it. So just miserable from a golf perspective. And like I keep saying this, and every time I convince myself otherwise, they are so bad at managing that golf course top to bottom. Like they shouldn't have ever. The redesign was terrible. I can't think of. There's so many stories about getting screamed at and yelled at for your pace of play when there's nobody out there. But then when there is a pace of play issue, they're nowhere to be found.
It depends on who you are. It sounds like. Quite honestly.
No, I've had both. I've seen both.
Well, I mean, like if they're members or regulars, then they can take their time and take as long as they want. Compared to you, who just plays it 3 times a year, will get an earful if they're slow.
I hear what you're saying, and I would think that. I think they're so bad about it, though. They're not even to that point. Which is funny. Like they can't even be.
Well, they're not consistent in any way whatsoever.
They don't have their shit together enough to be that selective.
I got it.
So it was miserable. And then I forgot what John said. He's like, oh, this was a good reminder of why I only play this place once every 10 years. And at one point, Tommy goes, well, I'm glad this is my last round in Chicago. And then he said like 3 holes later, he goes, I remember when I said this is my last round in Chicago. This might be my last round ever.
Wow.
So it was brutal. I just can't emphasize enough how much this group shouldn't have been let out. And don't get me wrong, we had a great time, like in terms of buddies playing and what have you, but it was from a pure golf perspective, just miserable. And at first I'm like, I'm never coming back. I'm like, nope, I have to go with Chris once. And I'm sorry, you're probably already influenced that, but like, we're going to do it. And I do think I'm sticking with, no, we're going to do it with the vintage clubs too.
Yeah. I've already committed to that. They're right there.
Yeah. We're going to do it. It's going to be horrible, but we're going to do it.
It'll be fun.
But I feel like
that'll be fun. Vintage stuff. Yeah. I mean, like there's no pressure. You just go out and play shots.
Yep. And then Pollyanna does a beer with them, by the way, that is fine. It's good. It's not like if you went and bought it at the store, you wouldn't get excited about it. But when you go into the halfway house and you buy the Cog Hill branded Pollyanna beer. Like it's a nice golf course beer. Can't complain about it. So I enjoyed
It's a good
that.
touch.
Yeah,
It's a good touch.
It's a good touch. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I will say, we said even when we were booking it, we're like, we want the Cog Hill Dubs Dread, and the disaster of an experience is like what you're looking for as a going away thing in Chicago. It's one thing we're like, oh, we're going to Medina, whatever, and like you're going out on one of these just top shelf premium golf courses, but to go get, nothing says Chicago public golf like the disaster that is Cog Hill Dubs Dread.
Unfortunately, that's probably true.
So he got it. You got the
Which
right
is why I
send
never
up.
played it. Right.
But I will say this was one of the worst I've ever seen there. And it's largely to do with, the COVID and boom in golf, which added to the list.
Yeah.
I'm sure golf's going to, can't get out of its own way. Dubs Dread, Hoodie Gate, the match 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about that. We can talk about that next week.
We will. So we were supposed to record this Sunday and I wasn't in the mood, and you beat me to it when you texted me and said, hey, your son will probably be to sleep after me. I'm pretty beat up from a wet, cold golf course today. So that's perfect. I'm not in the mood. I want to hear about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So the good part was back to Flossmoor Golf Club, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite places. We have to get you on that golf course to play it. I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I think so. It looks great.
It's just such a great golf course, and obviously it's in great shape. I mean, it's not a beat up Muni, right? It's a private course.
I was gonna say, let's think of what you're comparing it to, and it's sort of like, if it's not climbing up your favorite list, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't hold. I don't know if it's just because I played on such kind of whatever you want to call them, goat tracks or whatever growing up, or I don't have I can enjoy a golf course no matter what for the most part, regardless of condition.
You're getting classic golden age architecture for the most part. Shout out HS Colt.
For sure.
And pristine maintenance. Like those are two major things that St. Andrews and insert other goat tracks you and Jay Ray love to play. Like they just don't have it for good reason,
Sure. No, that's true. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic golf course. It's just so much fun. And the first 9 holes were great. And it was cold on Sunday. It was probably when we teed off, it was, so the high that day was at 3 a.m. when it was 60 degrees, and then it continued to just drop the entire day. So we teed off, it was probably 45 to 50 degrees. By the time we made the turn, the rain had started. It was probably 40 degrees. The rain never stopped. It continued to get colder.
And it was hard rain too. Well, not like
it was
hail rain, but it wasn't mild rain.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. So when it started, on 10 or 11, maybe it was a very light, this will be, if it stays like this, we're fine. But I think by 12 or 13, it was coming down pretty good, to the point where my gloves are soaked. The grips are wet. We're cold. And at that point, it's just I think it was probably around 15, because we had to make the decision, right? We've got 3 holes left. Do we bail or we finish it out? Because everyone's clubs are twisting, balls are everywhere. We're all freezing. It was a disaster, but we finished it out. We had one guy, my one buddy, during a practice swing, lost a club into the woods. We had to go and fetch it because it just went right out of his hand. But that's, it's not the golf course's fault. So I don't know if I'm good at golf or not after this round, because it didn't matter. It was more of just surviving the round and enjoying the golf course. The cool thing was, for the first 9 holes of the golf course, so you get there, you head to the range, which is already set up for you, all that good stuff, all that fun private course stuff. You get loose. It was us. It was 3 of us. That was it. There was nobody else around. It was our golf course. And it was awesome for 9 holes, and we had a lot of fun. And then after that, it was all right, I just want to be over with. And then I think I took about a 20-minute hot ass shower when I got home, just to thaw out. But
Do you have your own water heater? Do you have like building water heater?
Oh no, we have building.
Yeah, so that you could have taken
never runs out.
I say that could have been 2 hours for all you cared at that point.
Yeah, my children have tested that out. Like, you know, I'm like, oh my God, they're trying to run that building out of hot water. Back when they were younger, they would be in there forever.
That was the best part about like apartment living back in the day. I was just like not feeling great. Just lay down in this bathtub and have a 5-hour shower.
It's no joke. Yeah, you're not going to run out of hot water. But anyways, it was good to get back. I got to get you on that course. I want it to be like you and me and Jay Riv, because he hasn't played it either yet.
I'm thinking,
go out there and play it.
We don't want to see dead trees and stuff and like dying off areas. Like that was one of the things at Oak Park that got me. It's like, you go play Publix, you're used to like, if you're not supposed to play golf in this section, the grass isn't well maintained, the turf isn't solid, right? But there, it's like everything is healthy and good. So here I'm like, well, this is a part where I'm definitely scrambling from and shouldn't be playing a golf ball from, but because it's a nice private country club, it's in good shape and you can hit your ball here. Well, like that was the other thing too, just course shape wasn't what it is in basically the other 6 months of the year that it's open. And I'm like, I needed every advantage I could get.
Yeah. No, we'll go back in the spring because they even have a temporary green set up on, I think it was 15. So, they're starting to winterize the course. So we'll get back out in the spring when it's nice and
I'm hearing,
ready to go.
So we'll wait till next year. What I'm hearing is it's a 120-year-old club.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should not bring our modern clubs out to it. Vintage round there.
God.
We get,
all right, but I'm going to practice for that. I'm practicing for that.
No, you should be practicing for dubs too, because that'll be much harder with vintage clubs.
Yeah, but dubs, I don't give a shit.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you're Mr. I can play there anytime. I'll get you out there. Who cares? It's one round. I already have my, like, same thing at Oak Park. I'm like, we got to do a vintage round out here. We have to. And they're like, oh, yeah.
I'll do a vintage round wherever you want.
Well, I think we should do one in Flossmoor just because. Just saying.
Great. Let's put together a vintage tour next year.
I like it.
Pick out like all the 1899 to 1920 golf courses and only play vintage and have like a vintage tournament.
It'll be only two courses we can actually get on of that. We could go play the original Chicago Golf Club, Downers Grove.
Perfect.
1892.
There you go.
All right. This is
like Jackson Park. Jackson Park is
both of them. Yeah, both of them, Jackson and South Shore.
Yeah.
All right. This was a longer show than either of us anticipated, but it was a good. I feel like it was a good one. If you're into it, it's a good one. Yeah. Like we said, don't forget, like and subscribe. Do all that for us. You can check me out over at Range Heroes on social media and driverangeheroes.com. You can find Chris at Chris McEwen pretty much everywhere and
all the time.
Yeah, just do that. Just find them at those spots and watch some of these YouTube videos. Okay. All right, Chris. As always, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk with you soon. Have a good one, buddy.
See you, man.
Bye, everyone.